What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video of Double M Motorsports. Today is our first race day in almost 2 months. It has been a while. We have not raced the car since Lebanon. That was our last race. We have been super busy running fireworks tents and all that stuff. So that was 3 weeks of no racing right there since the sales in Missouri. We started selling on June 20th, and you can sell all the way through yesterday, July 10th. But we closed down in my town in Republic at midnight on the 4th. So in that time span, there was 3 Saturdays that we missed. I want to say the weekend after Lebanon rained out, so I didn't get to race that. So tonight is our first night back in a while, and it is EMS night at Springfield Raceway. So firefighters, EMTs, any first responder, police officers get in tonight for free, which is kind of fitting that we get to go back on this race since we're in the fire service. And so hopefully some of my buddies and stuff get to come out and watch us. It's been a sad week, sad last couple days. You guys have heard me talk about Scott Campbell quite a bit on this channel. I don't think I ever caught him on video, because when me and him were together, we were, busting tail just working. I don't think I ever caught him on video here, but we lost Scott the day before yesterday. Scott had been battling cancer for the last several years, and I don't know if it was the cancer that took him. Don't think it was, but regardless, he is no longer with us, which is very painful. It's very painful. Scott helped out a ton of us. I felt close to Scott just in the 2 years that I knew him. But he had the same relationship with so many of us racers. Always willing to lend a hand, share his knowledge about setups and things to correct your car. If it was too slick, if it was too tacky, he was always calling and checking to see how we did, how the car ran, if we needed anything, if anything broke. Scott is the guy that was calling either that night or the next day for me to source parts to fix the car. He was so well connected in the racing community, and it is such a huge loss for all of us in the Springfield and surrounding areas to lose Scott at such a young age. He was 58 years old. All he wanted to do was get back in his race car, and I know he's sitting in it right now. So I'm glad that he is no longer in pain. He's no longer having to do dialysis twice a week. But it hurts. It hurts when somebody's taken from you sooner than you'd like them to. I was fortunate that I got to see him Friday, and I talked to him on the phone Sunday, and then he passed day before yesterday, so that'd have been on Thursday night we lost him, and I was on duty that day. So we went over. They had already tried or stopped working on him by the time my station got there. But nonetheless, I feel good that I was there. I got to talk to his boy Gavin and give him a hug. And but that one hurts, and it's going to hurt for a while. Tonight's probably going to be very emotional for quite a few of us at the track. It'll be our first time. It'll be a lot of people's first time without Scott either being there or watching on the TV. Here the last couple months, he started watching on the TV because he got cold really easy, and so he would always have to leave before the features because it got too cold for him. So he just started watching on the TV at home, which I don't blame him. But Scott, we love you. We're gonna miss you dearly, and hopefully we can make you proud with everything that we do from here on out. So I just hope that I can have the knowledge one of these days that Scott had, so that I can pay it forward, because he helped me out. I've learned more in the last 2 years about race cars and setups and stuff like that from Scott than I've ever known. So we're gonna miss you, buddy, but stick around and enjoy the races, guys. Hot laps, my idiot butt forgot to tighten down the battery hold down, so we fried our Optima battery during hot laps. So I'll flip you around and show you what we did here. That is the battery from my truck. We pulled it out, wouldn't fit in side to side, so it's going the opposite direction, but we threw some zip ties, the hold downs on it, hold it tight, so car fired back up, and hopefully we'll be good to go for the heat race. See how she does. We are reinstalling the battery in the truck. It did its job and got us through the night with no issues. So thank you, truck battery. All right, here's the Optima battery. And what happened is the hold down bracket, which is the metal angle iron, came down and was touching both terminals. So it fried that one. It was my own stupid mistake. That was a $300 battery that I bought in 2025, so last year, and she's done for it. It toasted it. So damaged that in the feature. We got a little bent up in the front. Right rear tire exploded on that first wreck. Thank you to the crew next to us. I don't even know their names. Race car number 10, it was a B mod, for getting us all set up, helped us change the tire, bent a right trailing arm in the heat race, got that fixed. Flappers flapping. So it was an interesting night, but I think we finished up 7th if I'm not mistaken. So all in all, good night. All right, that is gonna end this weekend racing video. We made it back home. Car is in mostly one piece. I'm not disappointed with, get the shadow off my face there. I'm not completely disappointed with the results tonight. I'm proud of us. You know, it was battling all night long, battling not necessarily the car, just situations that we got thrown into. You know, with the heat race, got drove into on the heat race where I slid up the track into another car during the heat race and bent my right rear trailing arm. So straightened that out as best as I could because I didn't have a spare right rear trailing arm, and it still had a slight bend in it. So the change that I made was dropping my right rear trailing arm down one more hole, which kind of squares up the rear end a little more. Because when it's bent, it's pulling it closer to the front of the car, causing the car to be really loose. But changed that and then added a 1/4 inch stagger with my left rear. I put a 1/4 inch bigger left rear tire on to try to kind of counteract in case I made it too tight back there. I was scared I was going to make it too tight. But told myself I was going to run the bottom in the feature. I started 4th row inside. I still haven't figured out how Springfield does their lineups. I know on the heat race it's all based on points, but I went from 4th to 2nd in my heat, so I kind of figured I was going to be up. There was only 2 heats. I kind of figured I was going to be up in the top 2 rows, which would have been better for me. But had to start 7th in the feature. And then in the feature, I was running the bottom for the first couple of laps. Car felt great. I was extremely happy with the changes I made. So I was just gonna stay on the bottom, and then somebody got loose off of turn 2 and come right down into me and punctured a hole the size of my fist through my right rear tire. And my spare right rear that I have in the truck, you know, gets the job done, but it does not hold air pressure very well. And so in that situation, you know, I tried to get out of the car. Sarah was running back there. I had the jack over there trying to get it jacked up, and luckily the neighbors to our left, I don't know who they are, number 10 modified. Whoever you are, thank you for coming over and helping. They had a whole crew. Told me to get back in the car. I got in, they got my right rear changed. We made it back out on the track with as they were lining up to get ready to take the green again. So restarted 10th and worked my way back up to 7th. Did have a car 45 or 48 spin in turn 4. He spun up top, turn 4 up by the wall, got sideways coming out of there. So I thought I stayed low, but not low enough. I nailed him with the right front bumper and pushed it up. So we've got some parts to buy besides the battery. It was a night. It was just challenges and overcoming the challenges, and I'm extremely proud of us for overcoming all the challenges that we had tonight. and still finishing out with a top 10, even though there was like 14, 15 of us there. Came out with a top 10, and I think somebody got disqualified in the feature, so that put me finishing 6th. So appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, make sure you like, share, subscribe for more racing content, and then we will see you guys in the next one.